it's Sarah at Apricot Yarn and Supply, and I'm here with Cheryl.
Hi, thanks for joining us today.
And we're going to talk about our finished objects and a couple of things we're working on today.
Done a lot since the last video, I think.
Yeah. You want to start? Or?
Sure, okay. I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
I just wanted to show you how this turned out. This is called the Turtle Dove 2, and it's a free pattern that's out there on Ravelry from Espace Tricot, and you could probably even access it through their website. I was working on this one last time, and this one is knit up with this yarn that's called Amelie. It's Illimani, and it is made up of silk and baby alpaca and a little bit of merino. And I loved the way it turned out. I just wanted to show you how it fits. This one is a size medium that I think if I were to knit this one for myself, I would probably knit a small. I do like the oversized nature of it, but I think a small would fit a little bit better. This is a shop sample. I just wanted to show you it has this beautiful twisted rib in the sleeve cuff and the neckline. And let's see if you can see it. I'll go back here so you can see. It's got this pretty split hem, and it's got a big old band of the twisted rib on the bottom too. So it kind of has this really pretty like poncho kind of fit to it. Yeah. And it feels heavenly. It's light, but it's warm, and this yarn was just wonderful to knit up. And it didn't take that long because it's a worsted weight, so, and I forgot what size needle I used. I think it was an 8 or a 9.
It's a big one, like a bigger one.
Yeah.
It fills in nicely.
It does, and it just moved along, and I think it's a beautiful piece. I just love it.
Yeah, I was talking to a customer about, and I know you always tend to make the size 2 for yourself, so we were you were in here, so we were kind of guessing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ease in that pattern.
There
so
is.
The small is, the medium is really oversized. I think it's up in the high 40s, maybe 50 inches. I don't know.
Yeah, as far as the bust
the
circumference. Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of ease, and I really like it. I like it that way.
Yeah.
And I think I did the sleeve according to the pattern, and I really like it right there at the wrist. It's really pretty. Yeah, I love how it turned out. I'm really pleased with it. I might have to make one for myself because
it's nice and casual, but it could be dressy too.
Yes. Yeah, it would look good with jeans and boots.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think it's really flattering. And I really love turtlenecks. Do you wear turtlenecks?
I don't.
No. Yeah, either people love them or they really don't, but I always love them.
I think the last time I wore a turtleneck, I was in high school. So it's been a little while.
What's wrong with that? Actually, this guy is a little bit more of like a mock turtleneck because it doesn't flip over, but I love turtlenecks, and any way you could dish them out. All right, you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, so I made the Ranunculus, and
so pretty.
It was using Kestrel by Quince & Co. It is a worsted weight linen, and I just knit it to the gauge that it said with the needles recommended, and it's pretty oversized, but
it fits you really nicely.
Yeah,
it doesn't look too boxy. It looks just right.
I think the yarn is heavy and drapey, so it kind of helps just hug whoever's wearing it.
Yeah.
I guess this pattern was just updated recently, probably right after I started making this one. She, the designer, Midori, was it
Hirose?
Hirose, yeah, she released an update. So now I believe there's a lot wider range of sizes. There's not just one size. So if you wanted it to be smaller and you wanted to follow a pattern rather than doing it on your own, or larger, there's more options now. But it's super
I love it in the Kestrel.
Yeah, super light. I just have like a tank top on underneath, and yeah,
I think I wear like a little cami underneath. Even the ones that I did, even though they have mohair, it's still just nice to have a little something underneath.
Yeah, because I think it's on 10.5, which is really cool because she has the mohair versions that are super lacy and ethereal. Yeah, and then all the way up to like super woolly, chunky yarn.
Yes.
So very heavy.
Like the non-superwash. Yeah. I think that's why so many people like making it, because it has so many different personalities depending on what you choose. What fiber.
And you can make, like you've made a couple. You can make them look really different with the yarn choices that you make. So we have this here at the shop as a sample, and I think it's a great summer top. You could wear it over a dress with jeans or shorts or however you like to style it.
I've seen a lot of
Even
people
a
with dresses,
skirt,
yeah, overalls over it. And
I will say that when I blocked this, I blocked it to measure, but since it's been hanging in the shop, I feel like it's gotten a bit longer because I feel like it was on the little bit shorter side. I blocked this to the measurement, and I liked the way it fit when I put it on after I blocked it. But just from hanging, I think it kind of stretched a little bit. So especially with linen or any of the other slippery type of yarns, you
plus
might want
it has a little bit of weight to it too, right?
It's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind so you can get length out of it with just it being on your frame and not really doing anything to it. So I think I used 7 skeins of Kestrel for this.
Beautiful.
I started this so long ago. This is the Flax, the new version of the Flax sweater. It's cropped. It's like
an updated new version that they, okay.
The original was really long and kind of fitted, but this one is kind of more how we're wearing things now. It's a little boxy. The woman is wearing a little boxier, and it's short and cropped.
I love it.
And it's super cute. I used 2 strands of cotton that are listed as a DK weight. It's pretty thin to get the gauge because I wanted it to be like closed, not like super open. But the garter detail on the sleeves are really fun. It's like super pronounced.
It really is.
I don't know if you can see it that right.
And it just feels so like buttery. Yeah. I love that feel of it. That's beautiful.
I was going for like a sweatshirt kind of thing, and it definitely worked.
Yeah.
I made the sleeves this weird like 2/3 length. And my kids were like, I hate that length, but I really think it's fun for summer because it's short and cute, and it looks good like over a dress or with jeans or shorts or whatever you like to wear in the summertime.
And if they don't like it, it means they're not going to be
styling.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you know, like mission accomplished.
Yeah, every sweater I make has short sleeves. Wonder why. Yeah, so that one, I don't know with the yardage. I think these are like 300 yards each.
Yeah.
I may have used 6. I haven't weighed it. I didn't keep track very well with this one because it was so long of a knit. I started this last probably April, and I finally finished it. It kind of got buried in my closet of things, but
it's really cute.
Another way I would totally encourage you guys to explore your favorite pattern in a totally different yarn. The Flax sweater is super popular, and it goes from baby size, like newborn, all the way to 4XL men's, I believe. We have a little kid size one in the shop with wool yarn, and so a lot of what you see is going to be wool.
Sample.
But it's super fun in cotton. You could do it in a linen, you could do it in anything, and it comes out with just a totally different look and function. So if you have that favorite pattern that you really like the way it fits, maybe try using a different yarn that gives you a totally different look.
And sometimes I feel like, we purchase the pattern. It's kind of fun to be able to make it a couple different ways. And I think it's really fun. Yeah. Okay.
Show us what you're working on.
I wanted to show you what I'm working on. Somebody came into the shop, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, wearing this cardigan, and I kind of flipped out.
It was super cute. She came in the day before. I met her as well, and she was wearing it. It was in a really pretty light green color.
Yeah, that pretty almost. Yeah, it's like that neutral with a tinge of green, in the Sandnes Garn Sunday. So this one's called Winter's Beach Cardi by Andrea Mowry. And and I just loved it so much on her, and kind of went crazy. And she said, do you want to try it on? And I said, yes I do. And I put it on, and I was just smitten with it. So I picked out this color that's called Cameo in Sunday. And it's 2 strands together in order to get gauge, and I love how it works up with 2 strands together. So you start at the bottom, and let's see if I can, I don't know if I could show it off there. So what's cool about it is see how even at the bottom, the ribbing at the bottom is not just 2, 2, 2, 2. It actually corresponds to what's going on in the cabling too. See how it changes, which is just cool. It's thoughtful, it's well written. It's a really cool design. So this is the bottom, and then what you see right here are the threads there are showing where the afterthought pockets are going to go, because you know, cardigan pockets.
Yeah,
is, you know, that kind of checks all the boxes, I think. So I'm really loving it. I'm just knitting with 2 strands together, and the pattern itself it just has a chart, you know, with these symbols like that. So last week I just wrote it all out in knits and purls and, you know, numbers that make sense to me.
Yeah, I can read a color work chart really easily. It doesn't ever bother me, but a cable chart, my eyes are like, what? Is this left or right? Or
and is that little line on the top, or is it facing down? And I think that if it's written out like this, I could just, you know, go through it a lot faster. Not like I'm all about speed, but yeah, it kind of allows me to work on it in a little bit more of like a fluid way.
Yeah.
So all that
pretty.
Thanks. All that cabling is just I'm only a week in, and I really love this moss stitch that's in between there. I'm pretty sure it's moss stitch, and then you just have these, oh my gosh, these beautiful cables right there that look like they look like little donuts. And then this is like the antler, like the antler cardigan. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that, and because I can't really take that one on the go, I am just working on another anchors.
Of course, go back to your favorite.
Yeah, because it's really easy to just bring with me, and I'm just using the appellation from the
That'll be really nice.
bin. Yeah. So, and I think that if I really like how that turns out with just the cotton, because you know it doesn't have the linen and viscose in it like the other ones that we've done, then it would be beautiful in Willet too, because the colors are so pretty. So just sport weight cotton, I want to see how that works out. So that's easy to take with me.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
About the beach cardi and the 2 yarns together, you could always substitute a DK, but there's really something special about the 2 yarns playing together and creating like more air and space and squishiness.
Yeah.
And, it's really pretty.
It is the interesting thing to think about is, you know, does a 2 strands of Sunday truly equal like a strand of double Sunday?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a little different, right? It's a little different.
Yeah, and so if you've never done the 2 strands, go for it. It's not hard. You're just holding them together, and you just need to make sure you're pulling both loops through when you wrap it. But otherwise, it's not like you get in a rhythm and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Especially when they're the same, I find that that's really easy to.
When they're the same kind of fibers.
Yeah, rather than like a mohair and a worsted or something where the mohair kind of pops out easier.
Right.
Because it's so skinny. But,
yeah, it has been pretty easy. Yeah, if you've never done it before, it's just like knitting just with 2 strands.
Yeah.
There's nothing in particular, you know, strange about it. But
nothing to be afraid of.
No
fear in knitting.
No, it's only knitting. It's only knitting. Yeah, but I love it. I love it. And you could do cables too. Cables look really sophisticated, but it's easy once you learn how to do it. And it just takes a little bit more time, but there's nothing skill-wise super complex about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's impressive looking, and you can go,
Definitely.
yeah, I did that cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
My daughter Sadie was home from spring break last week, and she forgot to bring her sweater she's knitting. I was like, well, let's just find something else to make, and I'll make it with you, or you know, just to kind of give her some motivation.
Yeah.
So she found this cute little tank top in a Wool Addicts book. So we kind of looked through, got out my my bins of yarn, and she had a good idea of doing like a light version. So she picked out a whole bunch of different light colors. So
nice.
She's doing one that's really just a whole bunch of different white yarns with a couple of colors thrown in there.
And this is this a tank, or it's
a tank? Yeah. Okay. And we made a pile of grays, and so I'm doing the gray version.
And you're starting from the bottom up?
Bottom up has like a simple little ribbing, and then I'm making it quite a bit longer because it was a super cropped it's like a fitted little tank top with a wide strap.
Kind of like that little Lazy Daisy one
that
we have.
Yeah, but a wide strap and a higher neckline. So I might even do some short rows to add sleeves. I don't know. I'll see when I get there. But it's fun. I use Noro Mirai that we used to carry, but we'll be getting a different type of yarn. They always have one of these. It's a cotton silk viscose blend, and I always love them. This was a real dark one that has quite a bit of dark gray, and then
So it's just self-striping. It's just happening, right?
Yeah, the stripes for the most part are from the Mirai. I did add in this little bit of linen silk or something that I had. It's like a lavender that changes colors, and then this was a Bordeaux, I think, by Gadifra that we used to carry.
Yeah.
It's a naturally dyed cotton. So this is just a fun one we started. We're both kind of right at the sleeve separation.
Oh wow! So that moved along fast.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
I was stuck fantasizing about what your yarn stash must look like.
Oh.
She said, so I looked through my yarn stash. I was like, wow, Sarah's yarn stash must be incredible.
It's not super special. I guess I will say that I had the habit of buying one beautiful skein at a time, which would, or like, so I'd see like all these colors I like, so I'd buy one of each of them. That's not a good habit to be in, because then you can't really make anything other than maybe a pair of socks or a hat with anything.
Socks, yeah. Right,
and so
right.
I have to say I have about like 6 socks going in my
Do you really? Six different
basket,
types?
or my project basket.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna short circuit.
Yeah,
just
well,
thinking
see,
about
I get bored making the socks, so I go on to something else, and I'm like, oh, I'll make a sock, and then there it goes into the sock pile.
So do you have different bags with different projects?
Yeah,
You know?
so I guess
organized all this stuff?
I put everything in its own project bag.
With the yarn and the pattern and the project?
Yeah, the project and the yarn is just in there.
Okay, all right.
And the socks, I don't have a pattern because I just do regular Hadley socks.
Yeah.
So I already have that kind
the
of
basic
memorized.
recipe.
Yeah. I thought that was a fun one to share.
That is kind of fun that you guys are working on it together.
Yeah. That reminds me, the night before last, I have an old cashmere sweater. I meant to bring that in just as a fun thing to show. That I got from my grandma, and last week I wore out one of the elbows.
Oh.
So I made a little knitted patch
You
and I
did?
sewed it on, and it's so fun.
So you knit it separately and then you attached it?
Yeah, so I just knit a little square out of some yarn, some figurine weight yarn, and I sewed it on. There are some really cool methods though of picking up the stitches from the actual piece, and then just knitting the patch and sewing the sides down, or picking up stitches as you go up.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that. I kind of just was like, I just need to make this patch. So,
Yeah,
yeah, so I knit the little patch and sewed it on, and it's so fun.
I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Last time I went to Santa Cruz, I got the Visible Mending book.
Okay.
And then I also got one of those little tiny looms that has like the teeth that you put in there, and you put the little stabilizer underneath, and then you could just grab it and make almost like the little the weft, and then you just go through, and I think
fun.
It's just such a fun little finger of fiber arts mending.
Yeah, and why get rid of that beautiful sweater that you love? Just make it fun and add a patch.
It's fun to do one, and then you're searching through your closet for things with holes.
Yeah.
Just try to make a couple holes. Maybe next week you'll share that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today, and bring in your projects. We just love to see them. Bye.
Bye.